Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales and folk tales and mythology and sometimes personal stories and little ditties and sometimes made-up rhymes and songs, and also our pets are sometimes here. And also
you are here.
Sometimes you're here.
Hi, guys.
What's up, guys? You had a good summer? Because I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a whole summer off. I'm a teacher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Work starts again tomorrow, Max.
Bad.
Ask me if I'm ready.
Are you ready?
No, Max! Stupid idiot!
Okay.
Don't ask me stupid questions.
What's up? The bitches are back.
The bitches are back. I do think
and badder than ever.
We are badder than ever.
Worse than ever.
We're not doing well. Actually, we have declined.
We are in constant decline. Please don't come to us expecting us to be better ever.
Do you think we're going to learn from last year's mistakes? No.
No.
And thank you for asking. Guys,
wow.
What's up? I missed you. Max, did you miss doing the podcast? Kind of. We've done 2 bonus episodes. Bonus episodes didn't stop. Mm-hmm. We did those.
I have missed you guys, by the way. I was being cool for jokes, but then Janey just bulldozed over it.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were being serious and saying that you didn't want to do the podcast anymore, and I was like, it's fine, we will talk about it later.
No, I missed you guys a lot.
I'm in the market for
you
another
look so
co-host.
tall now. I make this joke every time.
I'm in the market for another co-host because this one doesn't want to do it anymore. She said she hates you guys. So anyway, I'll be holding auditions. I'm looking for really kind of like lean, like muscular, like not like too muscular, but like men who smell good. And little hair on their chest, but not like too much, you know, but like also not bare because that's weird. I don't want to slip and slide. Likes stories, I guess. Could talk into a microphone. I don't know. That's secondary to what I want.
I'm starting a competing podcast that's just me and JD sock puppet that I yell at.
That you abuse. So you'll just be officially recording what you do every night.
Yeah, exactly.
Just yelling at my
I've been
sock
practicing
puppet.
for when eventually you throw me off the podcast.
Okay, well, guys, hi. Welcome.
Hi.
We did miss you. We're excited to hear all about your summer vacation. If you are on our Discord, then we've been in constant communication. It's like we've never left, right? And if you're like, wow, that sounds great. I want to be involved in this. You can be by joining our Discord. Max, how do they do that?
You can join the Discord by joining us on Patreon for $3 a month. That $3 tier gets you access to...
Sorry, your professional voice. That's so
that
sexy.
$3 tier gets you access to our Discord.
Yes.
The Sort of the Story Discord is where you can come spend time with other listeners and with us, the hosts of the podcast, Sort of the Story.
Hell yes. Okay, well, I take it back. You don't have to be like super muscular. You can just be a hot man with a nice professional podcasting voice.
Wow, am I not a hot enough man for you?
You're the hottest man in this house.
Thank you.
Oh, I just heard Francis audibly sigh outside.
Well, it's very hot in this house, so...
And he's a little man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And if $3 a month...
Oh. Oh, yeah. Also, that wasn't the end of it, guys.
Yeah. Sorry. It keeps going.
I forgot.
If $3 a month for Discord access just isn't enough of us for you, you can also spend $7 a month to join us at our other Patreon tier, which includes access to a full-length bonus episode that comes out every single month. So our listeners who are on the Patreon at the $7 tier got a bonus episode both of the months that we were gone over the summer.
Yeah.
So if you want to join us there, please do. The link for our Patreon is in the show notes for this episode and every episode. You can also find it on our website, sortofthestory.com. And if you have any questions, you can email us, sortofthestory@gmail.com, or reach out to us on our socials at sortofthestory on Instagram and TikTok.
So professional. That's why you make the big bucks in this podcast. And why I make nothing. Max, fantastic.
Thanks, JD.
So we have 2 stories. You're going first this week.
Yes, I am.
Are you ready to go first?
I am ready to go first. I'm full of a little orange. I'm ready to tell a story.
So they weren't here to watch you eat the little orange. So that just sounds...
Janey gave me a cutie.
I did. I gave her a fully peeled cutie. But it's just really weird to tell somebody that you're full of a little orange.
How else would you possibly express that?
Do you have a little orange in you? Do you want one? I don't know. You can express it in many ways, is what I'm saying.
I think mine was the least bad way.
You can just say, I ate an orange.
I could, but that's not whimsical enough. All right, JD, I'm going to tell you a story whether you like it or not.
Okay, well then I'm going to take a quick break so that I can mentally prepare myself for this
Perfect.
non-consensual storytelling.
Oh, God.
We'll be back in 1 second. Goodbye! This is the year where we are not scared if I go away without telling you goodbye.
No, it's not.
Because I'll always come back.
It's conclusively not that year, and it never will be.
Nice, that's my faith.
No. Every time Janey doesn't say, okay, and we'll be right back, I watch her entire body tense until she starts the recording again.
What if they're scared? And you know what? I was right. They reached out and told me they were scared last time I didn't do it.
Yeah. All right, Janey, the story that I have for you today is from Victor and Rolf Fairy Tales.
Beautiful cover.
Yes, this is a very beautiful little book, which is why I got it.
Ooh.
It was also very cheap on thrift books.
Okay.
Victor and Rolf are fashion designers, specifically like haute couture, high fashion stuff. They started in like 1993.
Mm-hmm.
This book came out in 2009 in Dutch and then was translated in 2011 into English. So this is from 2011. And these are original fairy tales by these two fashion designers.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of like,
It's
very,
very
like avant-garde fashion stuff.
Yeah, the cover illustration really matches that too. It's like a slender woman's hand and like a ribbon going through and like looks like a perfume bottle. Like this does look like a fashion, like an old school fashion ad.
Yes, it absolutely does. Some of these stories are related to collections that they've released where they produced a line of perfume called Flower Bomb, and there's a story in here called Flower Bomb.
Cool.
That is like the story behind that perfume and everything like that. But most of these are just original stories that they wrote because they liked them.
Cute.
But the story that I'm going to tell you today is called Disco Hedgehog.
Hell yeah!
Yeah!
You know what? People have often asked me, Janey, what does your soul look like? And I didn't until right now have a good description.
Disco Hedgehog.
My soul is a disco hedgehog. She partying, don't touch her.
Don't touch her.
Covered in spikes, but she partying.
And I'll show you a couple of pictures from this book, just because these are all illustrations by Victor and Rolf, who are like fashion illustrators as part of being fashion designers.
Sorry. I'm still thinking of my soul. And
Sure.
You shut up about them for a second. The book, no thank you. I think that my soul, if it came with a tagline or a shirt, maybe, it would say, born to party, forced to spike.
Damn.
Forced to stab, maybe? Born to party, forced to stab. Okay, anyway, I'm still workshopping it. Disco Hedgehog. This is the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's great. It's a very cute little story. But also, I'm going to show you a couple of illustrations from throughout the book. This book does a lot of really cool stylistic things where most of the pages are white, but there's like...
Ooh, bright pink. It's
Yeah.
a little ribbon motif that goes through.
Yeah.
Ooh, somebody scribbled in your book.
Yeah, I think a child probably.
Who would get this book for a child?
I mean, it's a cute little book. And these are actually really good stories for kids. Most of them. Some of them are a little bit more like...
I love these.
Sorry, Mr. Owl, I tried to warn you, but it happened so quickly.
Why is that the blurb? It's like a cutie little pink ribbon with like the saddest little quote.
And then there's a story called The Two Moons, which is about two moons that are orbiting a planet together, and they're both very lonely, and those pages are all black with white text.
Aww.
And then there's one story towards the very back that's only like one full spread long, called Candy Floss, about a little girl who everyone calls her Candy Floss.
Because she has cotton candy head.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's very cute, but this is the illustration for Flower Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all just these like cute little things.
Oh, a little snake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. These little sound waves coming out that look like cursive S's.
Mm-hmm.
And a little mouse.
So, yeah, I'll show you the illustrations for this story at the end. But really beautiful little illustrations in this book.
Yeah, I love them.
Very cool. And also, here is a picture
That's
on the
such
back.
a cool idea for a book. Like,
Yeah.
that's such a cool...
This is Victor and Rolf.
Oh, they're hot. It's scary.
Yeah.
They're very Dutch.
Yeah, they're very Dutch. They went to fashion school together and have just been, like, partners in fashion ever since. And every picture of them is one of them leaning on the other one, like, with their elbow on their shoulder or something. It's very cute.
Perfect. I love them.
Also, I found out that the word fairy tales in Dutch is sprookjes, but it's spelled Sprookyes, which, not speaking Dutch, I was like, I bet that's pronounced sprookies.
Those spooky.
Some spooky stories.
Welcome to a spooky story. Spooky scary.
And that made me giggle. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so this is Disco Hedgehog.
Okay. The Janey Rabbity story.
The Janey Rabbity story. Once there was a little baby hedgehog born to a little hedgehog mom and dad. They were so excited. Yeah, just to be clear. I know we're all traumatized from Hans my Hedgehog.
Didn't have human parents.
Did not have human parents. 2 hedgehogs love each other very much. So this little baby hedgehog is born, and his parents are so proud and so excited for this teeny tiny little baby hedgehog. As soon as the hedgehog is born, all of the animals of the forest come to meet this teeny tiny little baby hedgehog, and they all compliment how like beautiful his little spikes are and how he's got just like the sweetest, pointiest little face they've ever seen. And the mom and dad are very proud, and they're very happy to receive so many compliments from the animals of the forest. And Mama Hedgehog is like, oh my God, nobody's ever paid this much attention to me. This is nice. And all of the animals give their well wishes to the new little hedgehog family, and then they depart for the evening. Mama and Papa Hedgehog start to get ready for bed, and Mama Hedgehog is like, Papa Hedgehog, could you blow out the fire so we can go to sleep? And Papa Hedgehog's like, anything for you, my dear. And he blows out the fire, and they both snuggle in and get ready for bed. And then they notice an eerie greenish glow filling their little hedgehog nest.
Oh no, is their baby radioactive? Uh-oh.
And they locate the source of this glow, and it's the baby's crib. And they look in and they're like, did someone like put something in the crib? But no, they find out that their baby glows.
Yeah, he's covered in uranium. This baby doesn't have long for this world. I've read Radium Girls. It's bad.
He's glowing as bright as a table lamp with this like pale greenish yellow color. It doesn't seem to be like doing it on purpose. It's not like it's like hurting him or anything. He's like falling asleep like a little baby hedgehog, but he just also happens to be glowing. Mama Hedgehog says, that's impossible. I've never seen anything like it. And Papa Hedgehog says, what a disgrace. What will the animals say? We can't let him be seen at night ever. They'll make fun of him.
You think she had an affair with a glowworm?
Janey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Suddenly we're above telling stories about animals being unfaithful. Breaking the bonds of marriage and turning their hedgehog husband into a cuck. I'm here to tell people the fucking truth, okay? The real world is bad.
Mama Hedgehog is like, well, you know, it's sad, but you're right. You know, we don't want him to be made fun of, so we just have to make sure that nobody ever sees him at night. Mm-hmm. And that's how we'll solve our little glowing baby hedgehog problem.
Doesn't seem like a problem, except for the health concerns.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really not concerned about that. They haven't read Radium Girls.
Fucking read a book, hedgehogs.
Read a book, you illiterate hedgehogs. So as this little baby hedgehog grows into a young hedgehog, the little hedgehog family always makes sure to be home by dark. They go out for dinner with their friends and they have like early dinner, but as soon as the sky starts to turn purple along the horizon, Mama Hedgehog suddenly gets a headache and they have to go. So the little baby hedgehog is always shuffled back into the hedgehog nest before it's completely dark out and people would be able to see this baby glowing. Mm-hmm. One time they went to a picnic and they didn't realize it, but it was the day of a solar eclipse.
Uh-oh.
So everyone stopped to look up at the sky, and they realized too late that it was dark enough that the baby could be seen glowing. But fortunately, everyone was too busy looking at the eclipse to look at the baby, which also, don't do that.
Fucking read a book, you stupid animals.
You illiterate creatures.
God.
Don't stare at an eclipse.
Don't do it.
Yeah. And of course, after the eclipse was over, all of the animals were blinded, so they didn't have to worry anymore.
Oh, no. That doesn't
That's
happen.
not true. That doesn't happen.
Don't worry, you guys. That's not true.
No, that didn't
Max
happen.
is feeling a silly.
When the little hedgehog is old enough to start to understand that glowing is weird, he goes to his mom and is like, hey, why am I a glowing baby hedgehog? And his mom says, well, you glow because you think too much.
Wow, she's trying to just foster illiteracy. She does not want educated hedgehogs in her house.
No, she does not. The hedgehog parents hope that the glow will dissipate over time, but it doesn't. If anything, it grows stronger over time.
Yeah, why would they think that?
Yeah. Every day when he finishes with school, the little baby hedgehog rushes home as quickly as he can to make sure that he's home before dark. And then he sits in the window of the house and he watches all the other kids walk home together and talk and play. But he doesn't want to go out because it's dangerous for him. And so he's a very lonely little hedgehog baby.
I mean, honestly, they're not wrong. I would stomp that hedgehog to death. I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't. Like, if a little animal glows, I'm sure like birds are like, oh, there it is.
That's not a concern in this, though. They're just like, all of the other animals will make fun of you.
We'll also say hedgehogs are nocturnal and they don't seem to worry about birds because of the spikes. So like,
true. True.
But still.
Very true. The only good thing about glowing, as far as this little baby hedgehog is concerned, is that his light lets him stay up late at night, reading and playing games by himself.
That's not allowed.
And every time Papa Hedgehog comes in to check that he's asleep, of course, he's very good at like putting down his book and hiding under the covers and pretending to be asleep. Honkshu, honkshu.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Papa Hedgehog leaves, he gets out from underneath the blanket and glows himself a little reading time.
Do you think he's reading Radium Girls and freaking himself out?
Probably.
He's like, oh my God.
And this went on for a very long time. But one day, the little baby hedgehog, he tried to go to bed early and he was like rolling around and he couldn't get comfortable and his bed was too flat. So he decided he was going to go out into the forest and get some more moss to stuff his bed so that it would be nice and fluffy and cozy. Mm-hmm. So it was getting close to dark, but he was like, I think I can make it to the moss tree and back home before it gets dark. And nobody's out now anyways. Mm-hmm. So he sneaks out of the house and he walks down to the moss tree. I almost said mouse tree. That's different. Mm-hmm. He walks down to the moss tree and he looks around, but he can't find any moss. Someone's already harvested all of it. And he looks around and he sees that there's another tree that's a little ways away, but it's covered in beautiful, soft, pillowy moss. And he's like, well, I don't see anyone. It's probably safe. So he runs over to the little tree and he collects up all of the soft moss that he can carry and he starts to run back home. Mm-hmm. On the way back home, though, he encounters on the path a crow. Mm-hmm. And he looks at himself and he realizes that it's dark enough that he's visibly glowing. Yeah. And this little crow is underneath of a bush trying to pick worms out of the dirt from under the bush and has already seen him and is just staring at him open-mouthed. And like a little worm like wiggles out of its beak and like flops to the ground. And so the two of them just like stare at each other open-mouthed for a second, terrified. Oh, hang on. There's a quote that I really like from this. The little hedgehog froze because he had been caught out, and the crow froze because, of course, this was the first light-emitting hedgehog he'd ever seen.
Fair.
You know what? Yeah,
fucking
so true.
Fair, yeah.
So the crow says, why on earth are you glowing like that? Sorry, should I glow differently? My bad.
How should I glow?
I didn't realize that there were laws about this.
I don't know. Why does your face look like that? He should like just become a bully. I think that's the only way to combat this.
Yeah. The little hedgehog explains that he's glowing because he thinks too much, just as his mama told him. And he tells the crow that he has to promise not to tell anyone because his parents have always told him, like, nobody can find out that you glow or else you're going to get made fun of and it'll be dangerous and scary. And so nobody can know that you glow. And so he makes the crow promise not to tell anyone. Mm-hmm. And the crow's like, all right, fine, I won't tell anyone. It's just really fucking weird. Like, whatever. Like, I'm no snitch. It's fine. Yeah. The crow hops off and the little hedgehog sneaks back into his house. He restuffs his bed and he lays down and he tries to get to sleep, but he can't sleep the whole night because he's so anxious about this crow and this crow's big, stupid, fat fucking mouth.
Okay. Oh no, does this end in murder?
Huh?
Does this end in murder? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Disco Hedgehog.
Disco Hedgehog is his assassin name.
The next day, the little hedgehog gets to school, and immediately everyone in his class is all over him. They're like, so you glow? What's that?
Well, he was right to not trust that crow.
Because the crow is a gossip. All of the little baby animals stand around the hedgehog. Ha ha, you glow in the dark. That's weird. You're weird. One of the kids stands like on the other end of the room from the hedgehog and is like, is it contagious? The little hedgehog brushes everyone off and pretends not to care, and they still tease him, but he just ignores it for the rest of the school day. And he leaves to go home early, as he usually does. And as he's walking home through the forest, he just cries as quietly as he can until he gets all the way home. As he's walking home, he's also thinking, like, oh, my parents are going to find out, and they're going to be so mad at me that I couldn't keep this secret.
It's not your fault.
It's not his fault. He gets home and he expects to be in trouble, but his parents are very understanding. They're like, it's okay. Like, you're not in trouble. It's just, it would be better if nobody knew, but now they know. So there's no putting the hedgehog back in that bag.
He's like, what? You're gonna put me where? There's no need to gift that hedgehog into that horse's mouth.
Don't throw the hedgehog out with the bathwater.
You can't kill 2 hedgehogs with 1 bush.
Sure.
These are all common hedgehog phrases.
So his parents are very understanding, and they give him dinner, and then he sits very quietly in the house and he watches all the other kids come home from school, and he tries very, 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 very hard not to think because he doesn't want to glow. But he has a really hard time because he keeps thinking about how everyone's making fun of him. Baby. After dinner, there's a knock on the front door of the hedgehog home.
Yeah.
And Papa Hedgehog opens the door to find all of the kids from school and their parents outside of the hedgehog nest.
Uh-oh.
And the mouse, who's standing at the front of the group, is like, hey, so we heard your kid glows. What's up with that? And Papa Hedgehog's like, it's fine. It's nobody's business. He's healthy. He's not dangerous. Like, he's a good hedgehog. He's the same hedgehog you've always known. It's fine. And they're like, oh, well, can we see it?
No!
Papa Hedgehog is like, what do you mean, can you see it? And then the baby...
some kind of freak?
The baby hedgehog comes out and is like, Dad, it's okay. And then Papa Hedgehog's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And so he comes out and they turn off all the lights in the house so that everyone can see this little hedgehog glowing. The frog says, ooh, well, that must be handy if you lose your way in the dark.
Yeah.
Sure. The little mouse baby says, he looks just like a disco ball.
Aw, how do you know what a disco ball looks
I
like?
don't know.
Little mouse.
And everyone talks about how amazing it is that he glows and how weird and how fucked up it is. Until finally he gets so sleepy that his mom and dad send all the animals home. And he goes to sleep thinking about how everyone has been so very nice to him today. Yeah. And he's able to finally get some rest. From then on, however, his life got very complicated.
What? That's not the end of the story?
Nope. His life got very complicated because now suddenly he's the kid who glows.
Yeah.
And so anytime anybody has anything that could feasibly require a light source, it's his problem now.
Okay, so start charging people.
He would never do that. He's just a baby.
This kid needs to get into capitalism real quick.
So from then on, anytime anyone has to like walk home in the dark, or if like they blow a fuse and their lights go out or something like that, the little baby hedgehog has to go and help them. And so he spends all of his time going out and helping people and just being a light source. The story says suddenly everyone needed him for something, which like they definitely have flashlights and lamps and stuff in this scenario also. Yeah. But also, if I was in a community where we suddenly had a glowing child, I would never use a flashlight again. So, like,
what?
I'd be like, hey, come over here.
Mac just luring glowing children into her dark, dark house.
Yes.
Why?
It would be such a novelty. I would be very nice to them, but also it would be really cool.
All right.
So the little hedgehog's life gets very hectic very quickly. Some time passes, and the little crow, who is a narc, visited the hedgehog, and he's like, hey, man, I've got a crazy idea. Stay with me, okay? Let's start a disco in the forest.
Oh. Okay.
We'll get all the animals together. Everyone's going to dance. There'll be drinks, drugs, whatever. It'll be crazy.
Hold on.
And you, little hedgehog, you'll be the star of the show because you'll be the disco ball because you glow. Because if you're glowing, of how you glow, that's how you'll be there doing that.
Yeah, but that's not a disco ball. That's just a light bulb.
Shut up, Janey.
He got put little mirrors on his little spikes.
That'd be cute.
Oh, would it?
Yeah, it would be cute.
Okay.
Just cover him in tinfoil.
Yeah, you gotta cover him in tin foil for
Obviously.
that to work. Fucking obviously. Oh, are they gonna hang him up?
No.
I mean, you would hope not, but like...
The little hedgehog agrees. He thinks maybe, this will be a good opportunity. Everyone will be hanging out and dancing. Maybe he'll make some friends. Maybe he'll dance with a girl. Whatever. Could be good. So he agrees to the crow's
I'm so
plot.
sorry. If I could just quickly... that hedgehog is gay. I can't explain it. But he's not...
Wow.
He's not looking to talk to a girl hedgehog.
You can't just say that the hedgehog who glows is gay, Janey.
I've never been more sure of anything in my whole life. I say it so lovingly, but no, he doesn't want to talk to a girl hedgehog. Amend it. Who's with me?
Okay, so who of our listeners, based on zero evidence, thinks that this tiny, severely bullied genetic anomaly of a hedgehog is gay?
When you say it like that, I sound awful. But if you think of it as he's very special, he's very helpful and sweet, and he just wants people to feel good around him, and also he wants to talk to a boy hedgehog.
Okay, but that's not a fact, though. That's something that you decide. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm
It's
just
a fact
saying.
for me.
Okay, well, that's an opinion. Is what that is.
Wow, so you're saying it's a choice. Interesting.
I'm saying it's your choice to make this hedgehog gay for some reason.
I just think he's gay.
An opinion. You can think that, but I just want to be really clear.
Also, I'm sorry, his overall creators are two, what do you call them? Fashion designers. They're two Dutch fashion designers. This hedgehog is gay.
I looked and I found no record of Victor and Rolf being gay.
Oh, I don't think they're gay.
What?
I think the little hedgehog is gay.
All right. So they set up the first disco, and there's a little stage for the hedgehog to stand on because they're not psychopaths.
Oh, okay.
And all of the animals of the forest come to this disco, and they all dance, and they laugh, and they party, and they have fun. And the little hedgehog stands up on the stage, and nobody talks to him. And he tries to dance, and everyone's like, "Stop moving!
No!
You're messing up the light. We're trying to dance."
Be nice to him! He's got a song in his soul.
And he's like, "Okay." And then he stands very still, and nobody talks to him for the rest of the night.
Oh.
But other than that, disco's a huge success. So they decide that they're going to do a disco every night.
And they're not paying
forever.
him? I assume.
Stop making this about capitalism.
He deserves payment.
He does. So after the first disco is massively successful, everyone starts calling him Disco Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
Title of film.
Disco hedgehog.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Ba-ba-ba-ba. He's just thinking of Disco Hedgehog to the tune of Psycho Killer. It's really good.
I was in my head doing a coin flip of whether it would be gay hedgehog.
Ah, look, it's coming around.
Or,
you better run away from this disco.
Or if it was going to be Glow Hedgehog. So it's Glow Hedgehog, actually, because he's not gay. And that would be a mean thing.
Wow, Max.
To decide.
And I bet you think that him and his little hedgehog boyfriend are just roommates.
As far as I can tell, all of the families are, like, all of the animals are in the same family within their species. So I don't think that he should have
Except for him, he's part glowworm.
Well.
So, like, they may be, like...
Again, you made that up. That's not in the story.
They may be living within societal norms with two animal parents of the same species and then 2.5 little babies. But this one is part glowworm.
Wow. It really makes you think.
It makes me think, for sure.
It definitely makes you think.
I'm thinking. And now I'm glowing. Uh-oh.
So every night after that, there's another forest disco. And every night, the little disco hedgehog stands on the stage. And anytime he tries to talk to someone, they're like, "Shh, we're dancing."
Oh.
And every time he tries to dance, they're like, "Can you stop?"
Don't be mean to him. Also, disco lights don't stay still.
They don't know that. They're just little creatures. Nobody talks to him.
Gas.
Hedgehog.
Forest disco, hedgehog's gay.
Stop. You have to stop. It's too hot for this.
It's
I
quite
can't
hot.
think. Okay. So now every night he just has to hang out while everyone else discos. And now he's kind of like, I'm still as lonely as I was before.
Yeah.
And now also I have to stand up here and I'm tired. And also I don't have time to sit in my room and read anymore.
And I'm not getting paid.
And I'm not getting paid and I'm so small.
And I'm so little. Be nice to me.
One night, after weeks and weeks of forest discos, he is so exhausted that he passes out and he falls off of the stage at the forest disco.
Oh, God.
Like a swan falling from the sky after being hit by a hunter's arrow.
Oh, God. And you say he's not gay. That was the gayest analogy you could have given us.
All of the animals at the disco pick him up and help carry him back home to his parents and lay him down in bed.
Aww.
And then they all go back to the disco.
With what light? So they're saying it can be done.
It seems like it can be done, but they all are like, what happened, right? What happened? It's dark now.
I love that this is just like a story about the exploitation of laborers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The frog says, maybe he thinks his stage should be higher, which is mean. And it's like, fuck off, you frog.
Also, why?
Why would he? I feel like he's like, maybe he's just gotten too big for his britches and he's like very important now. And now he wants a bigger stage, so he's throwing a fit. Which, like, fuck you, you frog.
Fuck you frog. For real, on God.
For real, on God. And the little mouse says, maybe he doesn't want to be our friend anymore. And then the swan, I forgot that there was a swan in the story, or I wouldn't have done that analogy. The wise swan says, oh, so he was your friend, was he?
Oh.
We all thought he was really useful and great fun, the way he shone like that and lit up the disco, but none of us ever said a word to Disco Hedgehog. And all of the animals look at the swan in horror as they realize that none of them, except for the crow, has ever even talked to the Disco Hedgehog except to tell him to stop dancing and be quiet.
Also, his name is Tim.
All of the animals are ashamed of the way that they've acted. And they're like, we have to do something to make it up to Disco Hedgehog, or whatever his name is.
Tim!
And the little crow says, I have an idea. The next day, all of the animals go to the hedgehog house. They knock on the door, and Daddy Hedgehog opens the door and is like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah!
Disco Hedgehog is still in bed and doesn't want to see anyone.
No.
He's just been crying all day.
I feel so bad for him.
The crow is like, well, can we talk to him? Because we have a surprise. And Daddy Hedgehog says, what you mean is the surprise that you're going to do is that you need some light.
Yeah.
Is that the surprise? Did I guess it? Wow. What a surprise. And the crow is like, no, honestly, like, it's not that. We just want to explain something to him. I guess.
We needed you to be the light for the dancing.
The little Disco Hedgehog peeks his head out of his little hedgehog bedroom. And it's like, is someone here? And Daddy Hedgehog's like, no, you're okay. You go back in there and rest if you need to. And the little Disco Hedgehog is like, that's okay. I want to know what they have to say. And then so he comes out. He comes out to the door. And the little crow meets him inside and says, hey, you should come to the disco tonight because we have a surprise for you. And then he just like nods at him and then walks away. And the little Disco Hedgehog is like, what?
Ominous.
Yeah. Are they going to just ask me to be the disco ball again?
You should come back. We have a surprise for you. It's that you're still the disco ball.
We made the thing taller, so the next time you fall off of it, you die. So that evening, the Disco Hedgehog goes to the disco. He gets there and nobody's there. The little glade that they have their disco in is completely empty.
Oh, what a prank.
Got him. You're all alone, you little idiot.
Stupid idiot.
Good luck having a disco by yourself.
Oh, see that you're too good to be our light. Well, now you can dance by yourself in this empty glen.
He starts to pace around, and as he's pacing, he's like, is this a prank? Like, are they pranking me? why would they do that? This is so mean. Do they hate me? Like, they must, like, actually hate me.
Aw.
I thought that they were just being thoughtless, but, like, they actually hate me.
What
They
did I
want
ever
me
do
to be
to them?
sad. And he's, like, pacing back and forth in this little glade. And finally, he just starts getting angry and sad. And he starts to have, like, hot tears roll down his face as he, like, coughs and weeps in his little glade all alone.
This is kind of fucked up of those animals.
Yes, it really is. And it's starting to get dark and he's starting to glow and he's like, I don't even care who sees it. I don't even care. Finally, it gets completely dark and he's about to go home and he like stomps towards the edge of the glade and then he hears a little crack behind him and he turns around, and as he turns around, he sees that all throughout the forest around the meadow, in the trees and in the bushes and along the ground, all of these little glowing lights start to pop up. It looks like a starry sky on a clear night. All of the animals of the forest are holding little lamps and candles and lanterns, and they're all like converging on this little meadow. And the crow is late because this tiny little crow has a tiny little Christmas tree that he stole from someone's porch that has all the little lights on it, and he's dragging it through the forest to the disco meadow. And finally everyone like gets into their spots around the meadow, and the little crow hops up and is like, hi, we wanted you to know that we wanted you to have fun at the disco, and we wanted you to know that you're not the only one.
Aww.
The little disco hedgehog cries. He feels like he's not alone anymore. All of the animals tell him how much they appreciate him and how much they love him. And they're like, we're really sorry we were like real dicks. We weren't thinking about it, but like that was really awful. And we are really sorry.
You're a living being and not a flashlight. We get that now.
And they're like, you don't have to be the disco ball anymore. We're gonna all bring lights so that it can be bright and so that you can hang out and dance and talk and have fun at the disco with the rest of us.
And that's how the great forest fire of our generation started. They all had candles.
Yep. After a long night of laughing and dancing and singing and talking to all the people all the little animals of the forest, the disco hedgehog finally goes home. And as he's walking home, he realizes that he hasn't had a single thought all night.
Oh.
And he runs into the house and he's like, Mama, great news. I never want to think again. It's great.
Uh-oh.
From now on, I don't want to do any thinking. And his mom's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, because you said that when I think too hard, that's when I glow. So I haven't thought all night. And I think as long as I just keep having a fun time with my friends, I'll never have to think again. And then I'll stop glowing. And she's like, oh, honey. Oh, I traumatized you. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to make you feel better about the fact that you were a glowing hedgehog. I made that up. That's not real. You're just a glowing hedgehog. And the little hedgehog is like, but I thought it was because I think too much all the time. And the mama hedgehog is like, no, honey, you think the normal amount. Everybody thinks all the time. And the little hedgehog is like, so I'm normal? And she's like, yeah, you're normal, except for the glowing thing.
Except for the abnormality.
Everybody's always thinking. It's not just you. And he's like, oh, cool. So I am normal. Great. And the disco hedgehog goes into his mossy little bedroom full of his own glowing light. And he thinks to himself, I'm so happy. And he drifts off into a deep and happy sleep. The end.
How cute.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be the first episode where the title of the episode's going to be the name of the story, because I can't think of a better title than Disco Hedgehog. So good.
Yeah.
I liked that. That was adorable.
Yeah. It's a pretty cute little story. It made me want to cry a little bit.
Yeah, like a little ugly duckling story.
Yeah. Here are the little illustrations. Their own little baby hedgehog was giving off light.
Oh.
If you flip to... Just keep going this way. There's a full screen.
Haha, glowing in the dark. That's so weird.
That's so weird.
That's a weird one to choose as your blurb. Ooh, a little pen and ink illustration with lots of stippling of the little animals of the forest. This looks like some sort of ritual.
Yeah, this looks like a
they're dancing they're dancing around in a circle, and the little hedgehog's in the middle on a tiny platform.
Yeah, it does seem like they're about to sacrifice him.
It does.
Yeah, it's not disco enough for me, I'll be honest. I know that that's probably like a European thing where any kind of dance is called a disco, but I have a very specific image for disco, and I wanted to see that image.
And the last one says, but we have a big surprise for him in a little heart-shaped ribbon.
Yep. It's cute stuff.
Adorable. I loved that. What a cool book.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing. Anyways, I would like to put it to all of our listeners and also Janey.
Sure.
I think that there should be art of a little glowing hedgehog.
Yeah, I think so too.
And also maybe all the little animals of the forest holding candles and lanterns and everything.
Again, burning down the forest. There should not be candles in the forest. Animals cannot hold their candles.
So if you didn't know who this story was written by, who would you think it was written by?
Probably Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, it feels very much like a Hans Christian Andersen story.
It would have more descriptions of like the scenery.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very Hans Christian Andersen. Like I said, it's very much like...
It's like Ugly Duckling, Little Mermaid.
Yeah, even the Golden Beetle a little bit.
Yeah. All of the ones of like, oh, the main character is ostracized from society because of the thing that makes them Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which wasn't Hans Christian Andersen, I don't think.
And also with the little, like the mom and dad and like the images of like their little houses being like, you know, like anthropomorphized, like little human houses.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Beatrice Potter.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. The other thing that made this feel like Hans Christian Andersen to me was the fact that his parents were like, we have to literally hide his light under a bushel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, and I was joking, but that's what immediately I was like, oh, he's gay, is because of the Hans Christian Andersen of it all,
definitely.
right? Like, there's always the veiled, like, and he was in love with this woman, and it's like, no, he wasn't. You trying to fool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Adorable. I really loved that.
Yeah, and it's such a classy little book.
It is. This is one of the coolest books you've ever brought out.
Yeah.
I will say.
I love it.
Okay, do you want to take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a little breaky poo.
Oh my god. Oh, it's too hot in here. Let's take a break and go like douse ourselves in ice. Ooh, me first. Bye. Race you. Okay, Max.
I was trying so hard. Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. Today I am going to be telling you a story from this book. It's called Diane Good's Book of Giants and Little People.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what it looks like.
Oh, it's a giant and some little people.
Yeah, he's holding them.
In his hand.
Yeah. Classic little book of fairy tales.
Yeah.
I got this book when I was in Virginia. In Alexandria, there is a used bookstore called Common Books, which I've never been to before. And I was like, oh, I'll go see it. And it was just so good. It's like multiple stories, and they're all very well like sectioned off. So there's like a humanities section, there's a mystery section, there's a horror section, there's a children's section. So like I got to go around and like just go hunting, and that was really fun.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hot take, most bookstores have many stories.
Wow. Do you feel like a man when you push her around? Yeah. So anyway, that's where this book came from. And today I'm going to be telling you a Japanese story called 3 Strong Women.
Wow. Okay.
Are you ready for 3 strong women?
At least.
At least 3. I'm just going to jump into it. It's not that long, so.
Yeah, they'll catch you.
The 3 strong women?
You can jump and they'll catch you.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. All right. The story starts with a quote. Long ago in Japan, there lived a famous wrestler with legs as big as trees. He was on his way to the capital to wrestle before the emperor. End quote.
Who was the emperor going to wrestle?
He was gonna wrestle before the emperor.
Yeah, so he was going to wrestle someone,
right
and then
after
the emperor was going to wrestle someone.
wrestle.
He's opening for the emperor, is what I'm hearing.
The opening act. As he was walking, he was feeling really good about himself. He was, quote, strong, healthy, and rather conceited. You know.
The best way to be.
That's how I am. His name was Forever Mountain because he was such a good wrestler.
You know how mountains are notoriously good wrestlers.
And they're forever. Mountains are forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No one could beat him. So, like a mountain. And he was also super brave. And honestly, he was a shoo-in for this wrestling match. He was like, I'm the strongest man in the world. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody's stronger than me. Like, my legs are like trees. Like, I've got this. Mm-hmm. And as he was walking and thinking about how great he was, he saw a young woman who had rosy cheeks and a little button nose. And she was also described as being round, which I like.
Yeah.
A little round woman with a button nose.
Cute.
He thought to himself, and I'm unfortunately quoting here, "If I don't tickle that girl, I shall regret it all my life." Have you ever had that feeling?
No.
Oh.
This is the origin story of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
So he tiptoed up behind her and he poked his giant finger into her ribs.
What the fuck?
The woman giggled, which would not be my first reaction.
Nope.
She's like, hee hee, what? I'm being tickled by a strange giant. And then she brought her arm down so the wrestler's hand was caught against her body. And he laughed and said, "Whoa, you've got me. I can't move. You're so strong. Wow." And she was like, hee hee, I know. And then he was like, haha, and he went to go pull his hand free. And then he realized with mounting horror that he couldn't pull his hand free, that she was actually holding him fast. And then he said, quote, Now, let me go, little girl. I am a very powerful man. If I pull too hard, I might hurt you." And she replied, quote, "Pull. I admire powerful men."
I love this.
Right? She's like, "Oh, go ahead. That would actually really make me happy."
I would love to see it.
Then she began to walk because she had places to be. And he pulled and tugged as hard as he could, but he couldn't loosen her grip. So he was forced to just like shuffle with her with this like rising panic. He begged, "Please let me go. I am the famous wrestler Forever Mountain. I must wrestle before the emperor." And then he burst into tears and said, "And you're hurting my hand." Here's this thing. First of all, I've never heard of you. Don't go around calling yourself a famous wrestler. The girl said, quote, "You poor, sweet little Forever Mountain. Are you tired? Shall I carry you?" And then he began to scream, "No! Don't carry me!" And then she started to try to pick him up. He's like, "Please! I'm a man!" He said, "I don't want you to carry me. I want you to let me go." And she's like, "All right, you big baby, come on." And then she pulled him easily down the mountain path and told him that she was just trying to help him. She was like, "Listen, I know that wrestling competition, okay? And there's just no fucking way. You're so weak. Look, I'm a girl and I'm dragging you along like you're basically nothing. Like, oh my God, look at those spindly little legs. Like, you're going to get your ass handed to you. It's going to be embarrassing. So, like, let me help you, okay?" And she was like, "I'm a very small girl and I'm dragging you down the mountain. So, like, how are you going to fare against, like, a big, strong man? Like, an actual big, strong man?" And he's like, "Why are you being so mean to me?" She reminded him that the wrestling match was still 3 months away. She's like, "You have time." And then she told him that she was going to take him to her mother's house where, quote, "We'll make a strong man of you."
Okay.
And at this point he said, "All right, I'll come along." As if he had a choice.
No.
Yeah, still trying to maintain that facade of control.
Also, I really thought he was on his way to the palace to wrestle.
No, he was like 3 months early. I guess he was just going to go party.
All right.
After a short time, they came to a valley where there was a simple farmhouse with a thatched roof in the middle. And she was like, "Hey, my grandmother is home right now, but she's probably sleeping because she's an old lady and, you know, they have to get their rest." But she said, quote, "But Mother should be bringing our cow back from the field. Oh, there's Mother now." And then she waved. This is a quote from the story. "The woman coming around the corner of the house put down the cow she had been carrying and came across the grass." At which point I wrote, "I'm having a great time."
I'm also having a great time. This is really good.
The mother smiled and was like, "Oh, you brought a nice little man? Who's this?" And then she also tells us her name, the girl's name. The girl's name is Marume, which I hate because that's just marry me. Anyway.
Is that what it means, or is that just...
It's Maru-me. Marume.
Marumi.
Marry me. Yeah, I don't love that. The foreshadowing is a bummer for me.
This might not be the same word, but there is a word in Japanese that is maru, and it's circle. And I know that because there is a famous cat on YouTube named Maru because he's a circle. He's just a very fat cat who loves to jump in a box.
And she's described as being quite round.
Yeah.
So I do like that.
I wonder if it's like Marume, like round girl or like sister.
Probably, yeah. That makes sense.
The circle sister.
But it just sounds like marry me. Marume explained that she had found this man up on the mountain, and she's like, the poor thing was trying to go to the wrestling match, but look. And then she like tugged him around a bunch and he was like, ah! And the mom was like, oh no, yeah, they're going to snap him in half like a twig. They'll eat him alive. Wow, I've never seen somebody so weak and gross. Puny even. And Marie was like, we only have 3 months to bulk him up. Otherwise, again, he'll be snapped in half and passed around like a chicken bone. She's like, okay. So her mother said, well, it's not very long, and he does look terribly feeble. Maybe when he gets stronger, he can help grandmother with some of the easy work around the house. Which one I wrote, go fuck yourself forever, Mountain. You're too weak to vacuum. The girl was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So she called for her grandmother, who tottered out the door with a creaky, I'm coming.
Yes, dear.
On my way.
Toot toot, coming through.
Choo choo. She's insane. The grandmother started walking towards them, but as she did, she stumbled on the root of a giant oak tree, and she looked at it and she like grumbled. She like narrowed her eyes at the root, and she said, "Wait, but who put this tree here?
Same.
Where did this come from?"
Same.
She said, "Hey, my eyes aren't what they used to be." And then she wrapped her skinny arms around the trunk and she yanked it out of the ground. She threw it towards the mountain. There's a faint crash.
Towards the mountain?
Yep.
No, he's gonna die.
Oh, not forever mountain. The actual mountain.
Temporary mountain.
Yeah. There was a faint crash as it collided with the side of the mountain, and all these rocks fell off, and they were like looking at it, and the old woman scratched her head and said, my aim is off. I meant to throw it over the mountain. I'm getting old. The story said, quote, the wrestler was not listening. He had quietly fainted.
Aw. Too much for him.
Okay, I have to show you a picture. There's several pictures. It's hilarious.
Ooh.
First of all, here's this gross wrestler with this girl.
Ew.
Yeah, he's gigantic and she's holding water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's walking up the mountain with like a bucket of water on her head, and he is almost twice as tall as her. He looks like the bad guy in every like Disney movie.
Yeah, he really
He
does.
looks kind of like Ratigan, but as a man.
He does, yeah. He's like leering at her.
Yeah, he's looking very menacingly.
And here's her trapping his arm.
Mm-hmm. Mean mugging him.
Yeah. And then here's him fainting as the grandmother tosses a giant tree.
That's a perfect illustration.
Yeah, that's exactly what it shows.
Yeah, that's perfect. I like that he's still grumpy even when he is passed out.
The grandmother kind of watched him faint and was like, wow, unimpressive. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do. She said, here, let me carry him. He's light. And then she threw him over her shoulder like a sack of taters and she brought him into the house. The next day, the three women started their training routine to make weak, puny little Forever Mountain strong and not embarrassing anymore.
More like Forever Molehill.
Temporary molehill. They fed him food that would make him strong because we work from the inside out.
Yeah.
And they had him do the work of 5 men around the farm. And every evening he wrestled grandmother. Quote, because she was the least likely to injure him accidentally. Every day he grew stronger and stronger, but grandmother was still able to spin him on the tip of her finger like she was a Harlem Globetrotter, so still unimpressed. Eventually his legs, which looked like logs before, started to look like pillars, and his hands were as hard as rock. Quote, and when he cracked his knuckles, the sound was like trees splitting on a cold night, end quote, which is how you know that you're very strong.
Yeah.
Is if your knuckles crack real loud. Wow, my God, Max! Calm down, I'm not threatening you. I hope they heard that. Woo! I hate that. I can't crack my knuckles.
Really?
No. Ow.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah. Ow! Stop it. Ah! Stop it. We gotta do the other thumb. Max is so strong. Then
I'm definitely the strongest person in this house since you can't crack your knuckles.
That's true. Then, one evening, as they neared the day of the competition, he managed to pin grandmother for half a minute.
What?
Marie squealed with delight and she threw her arms around him. He was ready.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have to work his way up to, like, Mother and then Marume.
Nope. No, he just has to fight grandmother.
Damn. So they know then that they're stronger than most people. Okay.
They know that they're still stronger than him, which I love. Because remember, he's fighting grandmother because she's the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
So they got him ready to go be big and strong for the emperor, and he promised to come back after he won and ask the mother and grandmother's permission to marry Merime. He told her that he wanted to be part of this family for real. He's like, this is my kind of people. So, like, just so you know, I'm going to come back. I'm going to ask for your hand. And she's like, great, see you then.
Unless you die.
Unless you die because you're still
bitch.
too weak because the only one you can beat up is my grandmother. He traveled to the palace grounds, feeling stronger than ever before and probably more humble, I'm assuming.
One would hope.
I think this was a very humbling journey for him. When he got there, he saw the other wrestlers were gathered together and they were eating these enormous bowls of rice and they were comparing each other's weight and they were telling stories of their bravery and strength. And he like walked up and he's like, okay, well, I think I got this. I beat up an old woman today. The emperor and all the ladies and gentlemen of the court were there and they were waiting for the wrestling matches to begin. Forever Mountain was the first to be called to fight. His opponent was said to have the biggest stomach in the entire country. The man raised his foot and stamped it down as hard as he could, and everyone whispered like, oh my God, he's so strong. That was such a big stamp.
What a stomp.
He's stomping. No, hold on, he's stomping.
Damn.
He glared across the ring or the mat or wherever
Arena.
the arena. Yeah, they're in an arena. He just glared, I'm going to say the ring. He glared across the ring at Forever Mountain and probably also did that move where he drags his finger across his throat and like points at his opponent. Like, you dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Forever Mountain also raised his foot and stamped it down. But the sound was so loud it made the earth shake. Birds took flight, rocks fell from the mountain, that tree came dislodged from where it was and just tumbled down, killed a village. And, quote, the other wrestler bounced into the air and out of the ring as gracefully as a soap bubble. When he finally stopped his bouncing, the other wrestler stood up, bowed respectfully to the emperor, and said, I do not think I shall wrestle this season. And then he walked the fuck out.
Actually, I quit. Goodbye.
No, thank you.
I don't want that smoke.
As he walked out, 5 other wrestlers also stood, bowed, and then just walked out after him. After this, Forever Mountain stamped his foot lightly so he would not scare them before the match started. Then he'd pick each wrestler up very gently and carry them out of the ring and then go back and bow at the emperor. At the end of the competition, the emperor awarded all of the prize money to Forever Mountain. But he also told him that it was probably best if he never wrestled again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quote, he waggled his finger at the other wrestlers who were sitting on the ground, weeping like great fat babies. End quote. So, I do have an illustration for
Thank
this
God.
In case you were thinking that she wasn't going to give us this.
Okay, they're in like the sumo cloth things. I know what they're called, but I can't think of it. The main guy is stomping and the other guy is being tossed into the air while a bunch of other wrestlers who are all round like babies, wearing their little sumo diapers, are all sitting on the ground and crying and wailing, and everyone watching is horrified.
I just really like how they're drawn. They look like little eggs.
They do. They really do.
Forever Mountain agreed to not wrestle again, to the others' relief. It probably wasn't a very fun match. You know, like if you were there expecting a wrestling match and instead this giant guy just picks people up and carries them out of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
you'd probably be pissed.
Yeah.
So he was like, I won't wrestle anymore. He was like, you know what? I think I'm going to become a farmer. And then he made his way back up to Merime and her family. She was waiting for him. When she saw him coming down the road, she raced to meet him, and then she picked him up and carried him and the heavy bags of prize money up the mountain. About halfway up, she giggled and put him down and let him carry her the rest of the way up.
Aw.
He married
so that he wouldn't be embarrassed in front of her mom.
Yeah, 100%. He married Marume and never fought in public again. Quote, but up in the mountains sometimes the earth shakes and rumbles, and they say it is Forever Mountain and Marume's grandmother practicing wrestling in the hidden valley. End quote. The end.
That's really good.
Isn't that adorable?
I really like that.
Yeah. I love the idea, because then I was like, oh, every once in a while it shakes and rumbles, and I was like, he's fighting in private, and they're like, no, he's fighting grandmother.
Oh,
okay. I guess that also makes sense. I don't have that many notes from this. She does a very good job. First of all, this is Diane Good. She's the author and illustrator.
Oh.
She lives in Brooklyn, New York. She's American. According to her website, she's written 7 books and she's illustrated over 60 books. And most of them are like anthologies like this. This book has the Hairy Man, has Wiley and the Hairy Man in it.
Aw.
See that?
Oh, yeah. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Pretty goddamn scary.
I do think that the story in The Dark 30, I think that one is scarier written. And this one definitely is more like fairy tale illustrations, whereas that one was like illustrated to scare the shit out of us.
Yeah, which it did.
It did. But it is a very fun. I love that it has it in there.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, she does the good thing of sourcing her books and telling us where she got her stories. Mm-hmm. And so for this one, this is a shorter version of an ancient Japanese tale. It was collected by Klaus Stamm. Quote, like American tall tales, it employs exaggeration for comic effect.
Yeah.
End quote.
Pretty
Which
good.
is a good comparison.
I really liked that.
Yeah, kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
Aww.
It was really good.
The little people. Okay, guys. Well, that was a little shorty cutie episode.
Aw.
Yeah, we fucking did it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. We are coming back to you every 2 weeks as regularly scheduled. So exciting about that.
Yeah.
If you have any recommendations for stories or requests, I know we've gotten requests now for Quebec stories, right?
Uh-huh.
Montreal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was wondering if it's Quebec or Montreal, but we've gotten requests for those stories, so we are looking for those. Mm-hmm. The only reason why we haven't done it is because we haven't found them yet, but we will. Mm-hmm. I haven't done that much research on it, though.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah, so
I always forget until we are already recording the episode and I've already done the research for another story.
100%. That's exactly what happens.
Yep.
But you know what? So we do get requests. So if you have any requests for stories, please let us know. And if you have any thoughts on this one or want to see the pictures, you can contact us on the Discord, which you can always join through the Patreon. You can also go to our social media. It's at Sort of the Story on TikTok and Instagram. And we put the pictures up on Instagram. You can text us with some of your thoughts, knowing that we can't text back. You can email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. You can see a list of our stories at www.sortofthestory.com. There's a lot of ways to hang out with us. So just do it. We want to hear from you.
And all of them are in the show notes for this episode and every episode. So.
That's true. So there's no excuses not to say hi. Send us a picture of your cat. Thank you.
Yeah.
And also go on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review, please. And if you leave a very fun review, then I will share a picture of it on our Instagram stories. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
We love you.
We did it.
And
we missed you.
We did it. Go join the Patreon so you can listen to the bonus episodes too. They're very fun.
Yeah.
Okay. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
So, on our bonus episode, we had a question that was like, how was it worded? It was like, what's the best spontaneous decision you've ever made? Mm-hmm. And my answer was, I don't really make spontaneous decisions.
Right.
Yeah. So I decided spontaneously to go to see my parents last week, to see my family, my sister and my nephews. Because I was supposed to have a business trip in Chicago, and then that never happened. So I was like, oh, fuck it. I have off work anyway. Let's go to Virginia.
Nice.
And turns out my parents had a mouse in their house that my dad was trying to get with an electric trap. And I was like, no.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
So I bought them a mouse motel. 2 of them, 2 mouse motels. Mm-hmm. And I filled them with peanut butter and Nutella. And I told them, I was like, listen, this is why I'm here. I was called here. I have a purpose. My dad was like, you're not going to catch them with that. And I was like, it's absolutely going to catch them with that. And I did catch the mouse. And that felt good. My nephews and I released him a mile. You have to drive mice a mile away. Otherwise, they will find their way back into your house.
That's cool.
I guess. It's a little bit freaky. Like, stay out of my house. But he was really, really cute. So I was like, oh, that's why I'm here. I was here to save a mouse. And then as a little reward, my parents were like, let's go to the casino. And I was like, great. And then I won $4,000. I won more than $4,000. Then I came home with $4,000.
Pretty good.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that's the best spontaneous decision I've ever made. It was just one win after another.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I was at the house. I had a great time.
Did you win $4,000?
No.
We need to have more opportunities to win money at our house.
Yeah, that's really true, actually.
Yeah.
I donate platelets, and sometimes you get entered into raffles for like $7,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But hasn't happened yet, so...
They're like, we have to
cross your fingers that I got lucky blood.
I think you have lucky blood.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's why I steal it in the middle of the night, and I put it in that little
No.
vial. No, I need it. What are you doing with it?
A lot, actually.
If It's fine. You can survive. You can spare a couple of pints a night. They have to compete with the clinics that are like, you just get $750 every time you give us platelets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in a financial difficult spot like 2 weeks ago because my job fucked me over.
Yes, they did.
And I was like, can I sell my platelets? And it turns out that you can, obviously, but you can't sell and donate within the same like time period.
Oh, why?
So I would have to wait like 6 months to donate platelets again after selling platelets.
Does it work in the reverse? Or if you sell them, then you also can't then go to the Red Cross in 6
That's how
months?
It works. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder why.
I don't know.
I wonder if they're taking them in a different way.
I really don't know. I think that most of the like bio clinics that you sell to, they take plasma rather than just platelets, which is like slightly different somehow.
It is a plasma clinic.
Yeah.
So it's there. So interesting.
I'm not
but that's
sure,
what they usually are asking. Like the biomed is asking for your plasma.
Well, they can't have
My plasma. Plasma sounds like space goo.
it is.
And you can't have it.
Yeah, that's my plasma, and I need it now.
We never get plasma donations. So like, what's it for?
It's for people with cancer also.
Plasma?
Uh-huh.
Space goo.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
All right.